Whereas now with the internet, it's so it's fractured, that common culture, whether it was good or bad.
It's like resegregated.
It's resegregated, and so it's like a million choices that everyone has, and that means everybody's kind of divided off into their little sub communities. And so the closest thing you get is like a big fandom where all these people belong to one fandom because they share an interest in that one thing. So that might be like Star Wars or whatever. Now, of course, now we see the problem with that is that it's the people within it disagree about where they want it to go, and so on, and there's a lot of bitter infighting. But
I would
in
say
theory,
it's more like some people want it to go somewhere, and then other people have no interest in it going. It just sort of like stagnating. You know, the creators want it to sort of stagnate because they don't have any direction.
Yeah.
So they recycle things. They're basically just constantly recycling things.
But it's also a very different Unity, isn't it? Because the previous one, it was more casual. Everybody just watched the same stuff. So it wasn't like I've chosen this in the way that one chooses to be a member of a Star Wars fandom, if you see what I mean.
Yeah,
like
it's not like political parties, basically. It's not.
Yeah, you just watched it and then you could talk about it as a common touch point, whereas now you can't assume the common touch point, and the only ones you can is because people are really invested in that thing that you share as well.
It's almost parliamentarian too. Like while in America there's just two parties. There's so like you can you're either on side or you're not on the side.
What about the libertarians though? Do they not get a mention?
They cannot get a mention because they got less than RFK Jr. on the ballot, and he wasn't running anymore. So when you lose to somebody who's not really trying to become president anymore, that's I think that's a problem, because like they had substantially like that might have killed the Libertarian Party, because they might have lost like access to the ballot in many different states because of how poorly they did.
I see.
So that party might be actually dead, like for future existence. But really, when Parliament, you have so many different parties that you could be affiliated with. You have so many options, and that's kind of in some ways what the culture has become.
Yeah, that's true. It becomes a very strong tribal grouping in a way. And that in part explains the ferocity of the kind of conflicts in the fandoms, actually, because it's more than just a passing interest. It's like you're attacking something that I've devoted my time, energy, and love towards, and have made a part of who I am. I identify as a member of this fandom, and now you're destroying this thing that I love. Like, I'm going to defend it, right?
Well, it's even segments of those fandom. Like there are sort of the pro Disney, the parts that are basically subsidized more so by Disney itself, and then there are sort of the anti, and then there are probably some moderates within that too. Like it sort of breaks down just like a political organization. Then there are probably the people who don't even think, they just watch. Like they're like, those are like, I want to see if this comparison is correct. You can tell me. They're like the liberal Democrats of the fandoms. Like they don't really like have any real point to them. They're just kind of there to participate.
Well, I think some of the Lib Dem voters do have something going on. I will defend them. I've met some of them, but the actual party, you're so right for the current moment, because the current leader. So we had a general election earlier this year. I know you discussed it with AI, Shia Tory, but the the Lib Dem leader, his campaign was not to speak about any of his policies, but just do entertaining stunts, basically. So like he did a bungee jump, he did dancing, I think he did surfing, and like this is all he did, right, for his whole campaign, and still people voted for him. So
See,
like
that was exactly what I was thinking of.
And he's still doing it. Like,
yeah.
Recently he was like, I'm playing FIFA for charity. I'm like, mate, if I want to watch like gaming on YouTube, I'm gonna find a proper like YouTuber who does gaming. I'm not gonna watch some politician who wants my vote. Like, this is so sad. But people will vote for him because of that kind of thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're getting the voters who are just there to sort of participate, and like they don't really think about anything.
Yeah, I mean that's an indictment on British politics if ever there was one.
Well, to be fair, it's kind of maybe the Green Party in some ways. Like, they're just kind of there.
Well, the Green Party are very ideological.
I mean, in America.
Oh, okay.
In America, yeah, they're ideological, but they have no point to them. Like, as a party, they have no shot of getting, like, because Democrats are basically a monolith. Like, you're either on the Democrat side or you're the enemy. So the Green Party always gets blamed whenever they get too many votes that then supposedly makes the Republicans win.
I see.
So basically, there's no real, like, they don't really have a backbone because they're just there. You know, they're just kind of like, there's like a few ideologues who really want to make a difference, but leftists in general in America are very like team focused. They were like, Democrats are our team, so whatever Democrat does, we support Democrat. That's where vote blue no matter who comes from. Like that is literally a message from the Democratic Party or from big Democratic like supporters. Vote blue no matter who. Like, doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what they do. You know, could be an abusive person. Just vote blue.
Just vote blue. Yeah, I mean that sums up politics today, and storytelling today in many ways as well.
Yeah, we have that. People have turned sort of fandoms into their own sort of political realms because it's almost because politics is too toxic for those types of people. So they want a political feeling, or something that can bring them into something, a community that they can be politically active. But it's too controversial to be a part of a actual political movement. So you have to be part of a fandom supporting a certain way, or whether you support the sort of status quo or you want something different to be done. Like, those are the different political lines within these fandoms.
Very much so. Very much so.